first and the fifth, possibly the last, Presidential Spokesperson of President Rodrigo Duterte, Communications Secretary Martin Andanar, answers questions about his role in the final months of the administration, as well as its accomplishments in the past 6 years. Watch Andanar talk about what he calls the last mile of President Duterte. Here on Straight Talk.
Good morning. The Philippines is facing a leadership transition amid global uncertainties. Candidates are barnstorming from north to south, feverishly pitching their platforms and how they shall fill in the very big shoes that the Duterte administration will leave behind. Today, we invited one of the most low-key cabinet members who, whether he admits it or not, is for the large part instrumental as to why the president enjoys high trust and approval ratings even towards the end of his presidency. PCOO Secretary and Presidential Spokesperson Martin Andanar, welcome to the special edition of Straight Talk. I'm your host for today, Bettina Fernandez.
Good morning, Chingbi.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary.
Salamat at tayo'y na-invite muli dito.
Our pleasure. Thank you for coming. Let's go to our questions. You have come full circle. You remain in the President's cabinet. So it's very rare that a press secretary, a PCOO secretary, stays in the job until the end of the presidency. What's the secret, Mr. Secretary?
Parang mahirap sagutin yon, pero susubukan kong sagutin. Siguro it is because of the concept or the mindset of just working behind the scenes, working hard, being able to deliver the key performance indicators or the KPIs ng ating Pangulo. Just like in any other division or company, you have goals, you have aims, objectives, and as long as you're able to deliver them without being seen, hindi na siguro importante yung makita ka, importante yung ginagawa mo sa likuran. Hindi naman lahat ng tao kailangan on-cam, di ba? So, ang ibang tao naman kailangan nandyan din sa director's booth, meron kang cameraman.
Behind the scenes.
Di ba? So,
behind the scenes.
Oh, behind the scenes nga. Yeah. So, behind the scenes. I guess that's one of the reasons why na tumagal tayo, because in spite of my background being on-cam all the time, I understood the relevance of just being quiet and working behind.
So it worked, being quiet.
Diyan ko ina-attribute kasi pag dalawa yung ginagawa mo, if you're working and being there in front of the camera and also managing behind, then you spread yourself thin, and it's difficult when you spread yourself thin. You'd have a difficult time judging your performance from a singular perspective, which gives you more focus on doing what you're tasked to do. But again, there's an antidote to that. If you have a good team behind you, if you have a good organization, then you can both be on cam and off cam.
Did you take over a good team from the previous administration?
Let us say that we have a different priority. So, ang priority ng PCO under my term is to improve itong ating communication department, improve the ways that we create content, the ways that we spread content, improve ways on improve ways on adjusting or adapting to new technology, and that is what we did.
You were able to adapt really brilliantly. You were able to adapt brilliantly to the new technologies and the way people communicate. That the social media of the government has become very effective. So how were you able to do all of this while also keeping up with the working with the president? I know that you work late hours, you attend cabinet meetings, and then you have to attend to all of this communication to be able to trickle down the message of Malacanang to the grassroots. Paano nangyari? Paano nagawa yun?
I think it's the acceptance of the fact that, number one, I'm a technocrat. I'm not a politician. And number two, having the right insights of what is needed to be done inside the PCOO and the attached agencies. Now, there are three things. One is technology, the other one is administrative, and the third one is political. Now, as much as we were able to fix our digital presence or establish a digital presence of the presidential communication, we were also facing a different challenge, and this is the catching up in the broadcast industry. So it was a two-pronged strategy in developing and improving our platforms of communication. One was to build our television, our radio presence, and to build the Philippine Information Agency and the Bureau of Communication Services, the Philippine News Agency. At the same time, also to inject new technology so that we become more ubiquitous, in a sense that we are heard, we're seen, we're read all over. And again, and the other one is administrative, so it's about hiring, I guess, the right people to run the administrative area of the Presidential Communications Operations Office and the other attached agencies. And political. So, yung tatlo na magkakasama. So, it's about accepting the fact that it is not only about one medium of communication, say newspaper. Remember, the office used to be press secretary.
Yes.
And most of the secretaries that were appointed were either good columnists or people who run the newspaper. Editors. Yes. But si Presidente Digong understood that it is no longer just the press. You need to have someone who could probably run the television and the radio and understood social media. Siguro nagkataon lang Chingbi na you know, I was there in the middle of the crossroads when the reel-to-reel analog shifted to digital, and digital shifted to yung mga MIDI drive, you know, all of these changes, and a radio, from analog radio to FM radio to digital radio and then to online. So na-experience ko lahat yan. You asked me to edit using a reel-to-reel, I can do that.
Okay, you were there when the president was campaigning, around this time, in 2015, 2016. Yeah. And you were also working behind the scene.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what has changed, or is there any change at all from the president, from the time that you were working behind the scene when he was campaigning, and now that you're into the last few months of the term of the president?
He's still the same person, very humble, fatherly, very deliberate, and ano siya yung parati niya sinasabi sa mga kababayan natin na assertive in what he wants to happen in his government. Ang pinagbago lang dito, Chingbi, ay yung experience na pinagdaanan niya siguro as president, na he was able to deliver all of his promises. Yung experience na yun, and he was able to survive media crisis, was able to survive political crisis, was able to survive the pandemic. So yun ang nagbago sa kanya siguro yung experience lamang, and it only made him a better leader. So siguro kung meron lang sigurong re-election sa Pilipinas, kung merong re-election tulad sa Amerika, I'm sure the president will win hands down a re-election.
Okay, you talk about that. Yeah. So maybe I can ask, he filed his candidacy for the senatorial slot. And then all of a sudden, nag-back out siya. So, what caused that change of heart?
Well, I think personally it's because Senator Bongo also
Withdrew.
his candidacy for president. And, you know, si Presidente Digong at si Senador Bongo ay parang kambal tuko yan.
Left and right.
Hindi mo sila mapaging Batman Robin, you know. One cannot survive without the other. Loyalty. The President is very, very loyal to Senator Bongo the same way that Senator Bongo is very loyal to the President. Parang talagang magkapatid na eh. So, palagay ko, dahil doon, umatras na rin siya.
So, I would like to ask you a question, but maybe after this break.
Okay.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Magandang araw mga katribo! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelovelo, Atty. Lia Badillo Crisostomo, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Chirk Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas na ang mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Simulan natin ang bawat umaga with good vibes sa mga informative and recreational segments ng aming programa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion via Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Makichika na rin sa latest showbiz happenings, mga katribo.
Kaya naman, magkita-kita po tayo mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga at magsama-sama po tayo sa
Gising Na!
Welcome back, Secretary Andanar.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the major accomplishments of the President. He once mentioned that one of his greatest legacies was the revision of the water contract and then also the peace and order. So, bakit yun among all of the accomplishments? You know, we can sit here and enumerate everything up to tomorrow and we won't still be, you know...
Peace and order.
Peace and order, yeah.
And yung water contract.
Water contract. Bakit yun? And why those two on top of all of these accomplishments that he
Kasi
has?
lahat naman kasi nung mga ginawa ni Presidente, including these two, yung water contract, pati itong sa Bangsamoro Organic Law, ay mga kababayan natin ang talagang may kinabang. The President always mentions that at the end of the day, we don't talk about our legacies. Because the legacies, what we do is for the people. At sa dulo, ang mahalaga, kung anong maganda sa nakararami, the greater majority. And hanggang, sabi niya, hanggang dyan na lang tayo. Pagkatapos, okay na tayo. Now, the Bangsamoro Organic Law was an act that was drawn basically before this administration at hindi pumasa dun sa nakarang administrasyon. Pero under his leadership, dahil sa kanyang political will at yung kanyang influence, ay naipasa itong Bangsamoro Organic Law. At meron na tayong kapayapaan dyan sa Muslim Mindanao. Meron na tayong Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. And hindi na naman yan pagdating sa kapayapaan. Nandyan din yung National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict kung saan more than 20,000 of rebels have already surrendered, bumalik na sa ating lipunan, sa ating gobyerno, at nakikipagtulungan na sa ating pamahalaan. And more than 40 rebel fronts ang na-dismantle. So, very successful yung peace and order project program ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, which is part of his promises, by the way, in 2016. Remember, that was peace and order, law and order, plus poverty alleviation. Now, going back to what you mentioned about the water concessionaire, I think it's also the same. It's about kung paano natin papangalagaan ang interest ng taong bayan, national interest. Now, it's so difficult to define national interest. If I ask you, Chingbi, your point of national interest could be different from mine or from your driver or sa security guard. Iba-iba eh. Or if you ask a bureaucrat, iba yung kanyang point of view of national interest, iba rin yung pag tinanong mo yung politiko.
Yes, but all of this have been accomplished under the Duterte administration. So how can he assure the public that when he leaves, this will be continued and will be pursued? So how is he going to assure the public that hindi ito yung Duterte administration lang, pag-alis niya, wala na, balik na naman lahat ng NPA, andyan na naman yung mga laboratories, and then contracts are again revised, we don't have water again. So what did he put in place?
For the Bangsamoro Organic Law, obviously it's already a law, so hindi mo na siya mababago unless magkaroon ng isang pagtitipon sa Kongreso para magkaroon ng amendment or palitan o kung ano man gusto nilang gawin. Pagdating naman ito sa water concessionaire, it was sold already to a new owner. So, yung usapan naman is sundin ng bagong may-ari kung ano yung nararapat, kung ano yung dapat sa mga kababayan natin Pilipino na sila ay hindi naman sila maisahan o malugi. Yung tamang-tama lang. Kung anong pangako ng water concessionaire, kung gagawa ka ng isang sewerage system, gagawa ka ng sewerage system. Kung magpipresyo ka ng tubig ng ganitong presyo, na hindi lugi ang mga kabayan, ganito ng presyo mo. So, yung mga yan ay napag-usapan ng bagong water concessionaire at ng ating gobyerno. What is the assurance na matutuloy lahat ng mga magandang proyekto ng pamahalaan? Kapag yan ay batas na, ay talagang itutuloy yan. Pero yung mga projects, halimbawa, yung mga pagpapatayo ng mga skyway, mga highway, mga kung anong mga bridges, matutuloy din yan kasi nasagaan naman yan.
But how about the insurgency?
Insurgency, the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict is already deeply rooted into the bureaucracy of the armed forces of the Philippines. At ang AFP naman natin ay very professional. At sila naman lahat ay gusto naman nila ay kapayapaan. Gusto nila matigil na itong insurgency. Look, we are facing two problems. We're facing insurgency inside our country, and we are also guarding 7,600 islands in the Philippines. So talagang kung magkakaroon man ng giyera sa labas, panlabas na giyera, meron din tayong giyera sa loob, napakahirap naman. So it's good that we solved already our challenges with MILF. At ngayon naman ay sa CPP-NPA marami nang sumurrender. At itong National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict ay isa sa mga successful na national task force ng ating pamahalaan.
Okay, one of the promises of the President was that he's going to ensure that there is peace and order. At ang nangyari nga is he pursued relentlessly his war on drugs. So, even those who are opposing the President, they're saying na talagang wala ng laboratories daw dito. Drugs have been practically eliminated except for those which are being imported.
2 weeks ago, merong nahuli. 10 billion, pero galing yun sa ibang bansa. Pero tama ka, yung mga local manufacturers ay na-dismantle na.
Gano'ng karaming laboratories ba na malalaki na dismantled during the term of the President?
I don't have the exact figure with me, but I can say that it's more than 70 billion pesos worth of drugs and yung mga gamit sa laboratorio ang nahuli ng ating pamahalaan. At hindi lang yun, kung ikukumpara mo nga nung nakarang administrasyon, talagang napakalayo talaga ng numbers. And if you look at the number of people who volunteered to be rehabilitated, nasa mga 1.2 million. At padami ng padami kasi yung PDEA nagbibigay din ng real numbers.
Yes, so yung drugs, yung mga laboratories, they were shuttered, tapos yung mga drugs na binibenta locally nawala na kasing source, and then of course, the issue now is the imported. Yung mga nasa rehab, can you give us an update? Yung mga nandun ba, talaga bang nag-rehab and they rejoined the society? Meron bang numbers tayo kung ilan yung nag-rehab na talagang naka-recover, or are we just in rehab and people are just there?
Well, apart from the 1.2 million na nagpa-rehab, meron ding numbers yung PDEA. I just don't have it with me right now, pero meron silang mga natapos na yung rehab, merong ongoing ang rehabilitation. At yan naman ay weekly na ni-report din ng PDEA. So I asked them to collate all of the reports para bago kami bumaba sa pwesto ay makabigay kami ng isang final na real numbers report. But then again, let's talk about, since napag-usapan na rin natin yung drugs, merong mga panawagan na imbestigahan ang ating pamahalaan. Magaling dun sa mga drug-related issues, mga alleged human rights violations of the Duterte administration. At masabi ko naman na we are working closely with the United Nations. So we have reached out to the United Nations through our permanent mission sa Geneva, dun sa United Nations Tribunal, pagdating sa Human Rights Tribunal. At naglabas ng letter ang United Nations na hindi nakasulat na investigation.
What is it then?
But it is cooperation.
So it's no longer a worry for the president.
No, it's not a worry for the country itself, kasi hindi naman siya investigation, but it is already a cooperation between the Philippine government and the United Nations. And it goes without saying that they recognize the fact that we have a working justice system in our country. Na if we cooperate, if we work together, then we can answer some, if not all of your questions about the drug war in our country.
Yes, the president also said that I'm going to eradicate drugs in 6 months. So can you say now, towards the end of his term, that it's mission accomplished?
Hindi nangyari na 6 months, di ba inamin naman ng presidente, dahil hindi niya alam na ganun ka-extensive yung drug problem sa ating bansa.
But is it mission accomplished already?
Relatively, yes, it's mission accomplished. When you have already interdicted or when you have captured those who are responsible for this, kung yung mga odikta, kung sino-sino pa mga big fish na nahuli, mga Chinese drug lords ang nahuli at nabilanggo, kung di nabilanggo, namatay sa enkwentro, ibig sabihin yan ay successful. At titignan mo na lang dun sa pagbaba ng crime volume. Kasi malaking bahagi ng ating crime volume ay dulot ng droga. So, bumaba siya ng 64% yung crime volume sa buong Pilipinas. Ibig sabihin, ang mga kalye natin ay naibalik na natin sa ating mga kababayan. Nakakauwi na silang na matiwasay, na maayos, na hindi sila matakot na umuwi ng gabi. Lalo na ngayon, nabukas na ekonomiya, na hindi sila matakot na mais na tiyan sila or masaksak o kung anong gawin sa kanila ng mga drug addict.
Yes, so it's still in relation to that. Who do you think is the biggest fish to fall? Drug fish to fall under that. But before you answer that, we'll take a short break.
Ayon sa World Bank, tinatayang 4.8 hanggang 12.7 milyong toneladang plastic ang sumisira sa ating karagatan taon-taon. Halos 80% nito ang nanggagaling sa Asia. Sa buong mundo, Ang Pilipinas ay itinuturing na pangatlong pinakamalaking nagdudulot ng polusyon sa karagatan. Ang nakalalasong kemikal mula sa plastic ay di lamang kumukontamina sa karagatan, ngunit pati na rin sa hanging nilalanghap at lupang ginagalawan natin. Kung magpapatuloy ang kasalukuyang paggamit ng single-use plastics, sa taong 2050, mas marami na ang plastic kumpara sa mga isda na nasa ating mga karagatan. Dahil dito, mas pinaiigting ng pamahalaan ang kampanya laban sa paggamit ng single-use plastics. Nanganganib ang ating planeta. Iisa lang ito. Lahat tayo ay dapat kumilos sa lalong madaling panahon upang pangalagaan ito. Tama na ang plastikan.
Mahalin natin ang Pilipinas.
Lilipad na ang agila, magtatanggong magmamahal sa ating bansa.
We shall fly, soar, fight, and win!
Be updated sa news and happenings katribu. Hatid ng Daily Tribune sa inyo ang mga balitang napapanahon sa loob at labas ng bansa. Kami na ang bahala sa paghahatid sa inyo ng mga latest and reliable news. We got you covered sa programang Tribune News on Q. Mapapanood mula umaga hanggang gabi, Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Ang Daily Tribune may digital shows na din. Dahil sa mas lumalaki at mas lumalakas nating tribu, handog sa inyo ng Daily Tribune ang mga programang magbibigay buhay araw-araw. Be informed at mag-good vibes tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Be updated sa news and happenings sa Tribune News on Q. Mas kilalanin pa natin ang mga paborito nyong atleta sa programang The Athletes Tribune. Alamin ang latest entertainment sa programang What's Up. Ma-inspire sa mga kwentong hatid ng Perfect. Search lang ang Daily Tribune sa inyong Facebook at Tribune Now on YouTube. See you there, mga katribu!
Welcome back to Straight Talk. We still have Secretary Andanar with us. And Mr. Secretary, before we took a break, we ask you, sino ang pinakamalaking isda na nag-fall under the campaign of the administration on the war on drugs?
Maraming malaking isda. Nandun yung Odicta, di ba? Namatay yun. Tapos yung Espinosa.
Sa Espinosa, yeah.
Tapos maraming mga Chinese na drug lords. Hindi ko mabanggit yung mga pangalan. Hindi ko alam yung mga pangalan. Mahaba pangalan. In other words, talagang naging istrikto si Presidente pagdating sa ating war on drugs. Hindi siya yung tinatarget ay mga pipitsuging mga poser.
Nagtitinda lang sa streets.
Hindi, talagang yung drug lord talaga. Yeah. Kaya nga nawala na nga yung mga manufacturers ng droga sa Pilipinas dahil nga nahuli na yung mga big fish.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move on to build. So lumalabas, we have a golden era of infrastructure because even those coming from abroad, they've really noticed the changes for the better of the country. Mabilis ang travel, wala halos traffic, kahit saan, merong public transport. So, kano ba yung total na proyekto na yan na ginastos for build?
Napakalaking halaga ng nagastos dyan. We're talking about 5% of our GDP on a yearly basis. So, tingnan nyo na lang kung anong GDP natin on a yearly basis, tapos i-multiply nyo by 5%, yun ang halaga ng ating build program ni Pangulong Duterte. Again, the BBB is the most ambitious and the biggest infrastructure program of the country. Sa lahat ng mga Pangulo, itong administrasyon ni Pangulong Duterte lamang ang gumagastos ng 5% of GDP. Yung iba ay nag-hover lang dun sa 2%. So, doon pala makikita mo na. Now, the 6.5 million to 7 million or 8 million jobs na nailika ng BBB ay isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit naging inclusive yung ating economy. Nag-trickle down hanggang sa baba. Dahil nagbibigay ng trabaho eh. Kaya nga yung ating 26% na poverty rating o incidence, bumaba ng 14% pre-pandemic because partly of this BBB na ginawa ng ating Pangulo. At marami pang mga proyekto, maraming mga batas na talagang siniguro ni Presidente na maipasa.
With all of these projects, no, roads, bridges, ports, airports, at kung ano-ano pa, which one should be the one where the President should be remembered? Yung parang, pag naisip mo, si Digong yan.
Naku, napakadami, hindi ko nga maisa-isa. For example, itong subway project. This is the biggest subway, this is the first subway project
in the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
Yes.
At ang pangako ni Secretary Tugade ay merong isang portion doon na mabubuksan bago umexit si Pangulong Duterte. So I think that's one. Maraming mga proyekto na sinimula nung nakarang administrasyon pero wala pa sa 3 or 5% yung nagawa at tinapos si Presidente. Halimbawa na lamang itong Bohol, Panglao International Airport.
Yeah.
Itong sa Bicol International Airport. At marami pa mga connector roads sa NLEX, sa SLEX. The infrastructure program of this government has never been this good kung titignan mo yung history. But moving forward, dapat kasi ito mga build projects na mga ito, it should be there regardless of who is the one sitting as president. Kasi ito naman ay para sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin. Number two, kasi naging issue na kay Pinoy naman nag-start yan, kay FDR naman. Hindi dapat ganun eh. Kasi the maturity of a bureaucracy and the maturity of a country is also measured by the continuity of the programs. The programs. Hindi naman pwedeng porque ito ginawa ni Pangulong Digong yung susunod na manalong presidente hindi na itutuloy. Kasi bakit mo naman ipapasa sa GAA yan kung hindi naman maayos? Ba't naman pumasa in the first place sa Kongreso? Nagkaroon ng mga BICAM, nagkaroon ng...
Yeah, but Mr. Secretary, there is also a concern that yes, the build is really good for the country. It pushed us forward, you know. Pero meron din mga konting concern na the other infrastructure na tinayo might, you know, be just an elephant sitting there.
Well, yan naman ay spekulasyon. Lahat ng project na ginagawa ng gobyerno, lalo na yung mga big ticket projects, ay pinag-aralan ng NEDA. Yung ating mga ekonomista dyan sa NEDA ay mga professional. Sila ay nandyan, hindi lang para magdesisyon lang ng ganun-ganun lang. In fact, tumatagal nga yung pag-implement ng proyekto dahil sa masusing pinag-aaralan ng NEDA itong lahat ng mga big ticket infrastructure o itong mga malaking projects tulad ng national ID. Itong mga ganun.
Yes.
Ito pinag-aaralan ng husto yan. Walang pinag-aiba yun doon sa JICA na pag umutang tayo sa Japan, pinag-aaralan ng husto bago implement. So, pag sinabi mong maging isang puting elefante.
Yeah, white elephant.
Ibig sabihin nun ay hindi siya napag-aral ng husto. And I would beg to disagree na magiging white elephant to malaking projects doon sapagkat yun nga, nandyan yung ating checks and balance natin eh. Hindi lang sa NEDA, nandyan din yung Congress, ang Senado.
You were talking about the national ID. Matagal na rin kinakampanya yan and now it has been implemented under the Duterte administration. So, what's the progress of this national ID campaign? How many % of the population has already enrolled para magkaroon ng synchronicity ang lahat ng 1 milyong IDs na hawak ng bawat Pilipino?
I don't have the exact figures with me pagdating sa kung ilan ng national ID ang...
Maybe ballpark figure, percentage of people who already...
Yeah, wala akong figures. But ako mismo,
Nag-national ID ka na.
National ID na ako. Pero itong programa na ito ay napakaganda sapagkat nai-streamline niya yung mga IDs na meron ng isang tao.
Yeah.
So, kung ikaw naman ay OFW, halimbawa, kung meron ka lang national ID, ay, yun na lang ipakita mo at okay na. At the same time, madali din para sa gobyerno malaman kung sino itong tao na to, kung ano yung kanyang trabaho dati, at hindi lang gobyerno, pati yung mga private sector kung mag-a-apply ka. So, ang daming ID kasi, may driver's license,
may SSS, may GSIS, yes.
Madaming IDs.
Yeah.
Alam mo, sa probinsya, meron pa rin mga kababayan natin na walang ID.
Yes, it's true.
Oo, pag nabigyan mo ng ID, ang isang kababayan natin, halimbawa, doon sa malayong lugar sa Sultan Kudarat, halimbawa, natutuwa sila at meron silang ID because, para sa kanila ay, parang affirmation na there's a government.
Yeah. So this is also one way of streamlining the services of the government, yung national ID.
One way, one good way to streamline. Yung national ID na yung number mo na, yun yung number mo hanggang till kingdom come.
Forever and ever. Yeah. Mr. Secretary, sinabi ni Presidente na lagi siya nag-speech, sabi niya, yung travel from north to Makati would dramatically change. North to Makati. Napakalayo nung north, di ba? To Makati. And we know for a fact that, just Makati to San Juan, sometimes it takes you forever. So, ano yung ibig niyang sabihin ng from Makati to north will change dramatically the travel time?
For one, nakita natin, ginawa ni former Secretary Mark Villar saka ni Secretary Tugade. Silang dalawa nag-partner dyan. Kasi si Tugade yung nag-solve dun sa problema, dun sa mga
right of way,
yung paggamit ng mga lupa, etc. Kasi bugado yan si Secretary Tugade. Kasi Mark Villar naman nag-engineer. So siya yung naglatag ng mga roads. So magandang tandem yun. Kaya itong Skyway na napakatagal itong Skyway na to panahon pa ni Ramos to tapos section by section yung natatapos at hindi nga natatapos dahil nga sa sobrang daming balakid pagdating sa batas.
Daming red tape.
Red tape. So ngayon, dire-diretso pupunta ka ng norte o baka pupunta doon sa Balintawak na napakabilis. Dito ka nang dadaan sa Skyway.
Kabit-kabit na sila.
Kabit-kabit lang. Pero marami pang ginagawa ng mga interlink di ba? Doon sa pagdating doon sa T-Plex, sa NLEX. Ang daming highway na hindi ko pa napunta na nakikwento na lang sa akin ng mga kaibigan ko na
meron na.
Na meron na, napakaganda. So, kaya golden age of infrastructure. Now, it's not yet over. Meron tayong tren na ginagawa. Diba? Galing dyan sa Balintawak din, papunta dun sa Clark. Meron din tayong tren na...
That's a cargo train.
Cargo train. At meron din ginawa si Secretary Tugade na tren galing dito, papunta dun sa Bicol area.
Yes.
Nabuhay na yung Bicol Express. Although hindi pa hanggang dun sa
dulo,
pero at least nandyan na.
Nasimula na. Yes. So, we'll be right back.
Every time I'm on the road, I can expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. Now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
straight talk. We still have Communications Secretary and Presidential Spokesperson Martin Andanar. Sir, Mr. Secretary, you know, when the Boracay issue was zeroed in nationally, si Presidente immediately sabi niya, isara yan. Diba? And then it was, the rehabilitation only took 6 months. So after nung Boracay, you know, it was actually the poster rehabilitation of the administration. Ano pa yung mga sumunod in relation to preserving the environment, reviving the environment? Ano naman yung mga strides ng gobyerno?
Naalala ko, nag-ikot si dating DNR Secretary si Mato. Nagpunta ng Siargao, nagpunta ng Palawan, nagpunta ng Manila Bay, no? At ito'y pinakita nila na pwedeng linisin, pwedeng lagyan ng dolomite.
Yeah.
At talagang gumanda naman talaga. At Boracay na isang international destination.
Yeah.
Dahil sobrang ganda ng kanyang white sand at napakahabang stretch ng shore. Lahat ng mga ginawa ni Presidente, for example, itong Boracay, di ba nabanggit mo na naging controversial siya? Kasi maraming umaray na negosyante.
Correct.
Maraming nag-oppose. Pero kung titignan mo talaga yung epekto niya, ginaya nga tayo ng Thailand eh.
Yes, yeah.
Naglinis din sila ng kanilang ng kanilang isla doon. Nagsara din sila ng kanilang isla doon. That's what I read about 2 years ago. Tapos, yung ating mga mining area, alam mo, pag lumipad si Presidente sa Mindanao, nakita niya, ito, kalbo na ito pahak na ito, wala na yan, puro. And then, the miners started planting kasi nga, ni-revoke yung license eh.
Yes, yeah.
So, they started planting trees at, in other words, the political will of the President and how he shows the entire public that he will do it. The water concessionaire, itong Boracay, itong malaking airline company na nagbayad ng buwis, lahat ng merong mga transgression, lahat ng mga merong paglabag sa batas ay napapasagot na yung cigarette company. Pagpapakita lamang na merong political will at sinasabi ni President, no one is above the law. Yun ang malaga doon. Kaya di ba sabi ni Presidente, law and order.
Yes, yeah.
Di ba?
Yeah.
At number 1 doon, gusto mo na law and order, dapat sumunod yung mga tao sa batas, hindi lang yung mga common tao, kundi pati yung mga oligarch, pati yung mga mayayaman na susunod sa batas.
Yung may control ng ekonomiya.
Walang excuse dito.
Yeah.
Walang tao dito na porket ikay bilyonaryo ano ka na, meron ka ng
special treatment.
Walang ganon. So di ba may problema tayo dito sa airport noon.
Yes, yeah.
Yung
laglagbala,
yes. Tsaka yung namamahala dun sa mga cargo diyan sa airport na pinagsabihan din ng Presidente. Naalis ata sa kontrata.
Yes, natanggal sila.
Natanggal sila. So ito yung mga bagay na ginagawa ng ating Pangulo para ipakita sa buong Pilipinas at sa buong mundo na meron tayong rule of law. Kaya nga, kita mo yung ating Chingbi, yung ating credit rating. BBB+, A- dun sa Japan.
Despite.
Siguro magtatanong sila, bakit? Anong kinalaman ng credit rating? Meron pong kinalaman ang credit rating, ang pagtaas nito doon sa pagsunod sa batas ng mga kababayan natin at ng mga powers that be, yung mga nasa malaking negosyo. Merong kinalaman. Dahil sabihin ng mga foreign investors na, okay pala itong Pilipinas dahil meron palang batas na nasusunod. Wala palang excuse dito. No one is exempted.
There's a level playing field.
Oo, kasi rule of law.
Yeah.
Rule of law. That's ano bang mga factors ng pag-improve ng credit rating? Ano ba yung credit rating? Ito po yung rating natin na kaya natin magbayad ng utang natin.
Yes.
So pag sinabing BBB+, ibig sabihin marunong magbayad ng Pilipinas ng utang. Now, hindi lang naman yung pera na marunong tayong magbayad. Meron tayong batas na sinusunod sa ating bansa. Meron tayong tamang human rights. Meron tayong justice system. Meron tayong political system na stable. Yun yung mga tinitingnan nila. At kasama nga, napakahalaga itong batas na may sumusunod, na may pag-abide by the law.
Kaya nga, Mr. Secretary, the President has really shown his political will during the entire term. In fact, even during the pandemic, pag lumabas siya, nakipag-usap sa tao, sunod ang tao. That's why I'll go to my next question.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the campaign, he said he's not going to endorse anybody. And I asked him the same question. Paano naman kung hindi ka mag-i-endorse ng tao na papalit sa'yo? What will happen to all of this? Kung ang papalit someone who will not really continue yung mga programs at saka mga changes na in-implement niya during the 6 years. At the same time, paano yung 30% endorsement niya na sana pwedeng gamitin para mag-guide ang tao whom to vote dahil alam niya na yung papalit na yon na i-endorse niya will be able to, follow through with all of his reforms.
Okay. For one, I know that the president is a stickler to professional bureaucracy. At yun ang gusto niya mangyari. When he says that, alam mo Martin, hanggang dito lang tayo. When we decide on the good of the greater majority, hanggang dun lang tayo. Wala na yung, ano ko yan, legacy ko yan, legacy mo yan. Wala. Para sa tao lang yan. Hinto na tayo, ganun. This is for the betterment of our bureaucracy. So, when a leader thinks about the bureaucracy and strengthening the bureaucracy, then he is also thinking about how the bureaucracy is being professionalized in such a way that even if I am the president, for example, pag umalis ako ngayon, tutuloy yan kahit sino. Si Presidente, sinasabi niya, Sir, umalis na po si Secretary ko. Sinong papalit? Nandyan naman yung USEC. Magaling naman yung USEC.
But that's under his term.
Under his term.
Under his term. Because of his political will. People follow him. When he talks, even if it's not the policy, it becomes policy because people believe in him. Pag sinabi ni Presidente, sundin nyo kasi tama yan.
Diyan papasok ang benchmarking. So, if the bureaucracy is already mature, then we would love to believe na pati yung ating mga kababayan mature na rin sila politically.
So
hindi sila papayag.
So are you saying that could be one of the legacies of the president? It has led the bureaucracy to mature para kahit sino ang nakaupo, by sheer momentum, it will continue the reforms that he has left behind or he is leaving behind?
A professional public administration system is always should be the goal of any government. At ang ating bansa naman ay nowhere to go but up na para ma-improve. That's one. Number two, we always talk about lame duck na yung presidente na yan dahil ilang buwan na lang.
He's not a lame duck.
The fact that
not at all.
The fact that you're asking, your editors are asking me, anyone that I was just talking to a few professional guys earlier, and they asked me, sino ba talaga i-endorse? Lahat ng reporter. The fact that all of you guys, and even myself, I'm asking, sino i-endorse si Presidente? It only goes to show that he is no lame duck president. Isa siya sa mga presidente sa Pilipinas na hindi mo mailalagay yung lame duck na concept. Kasi up to this day, we are all waiting for his endorsement.
So, are you saying that he's going to endorse somebody?
If you ask me, I would, and I'll just listen to him, whatever he says. Mamaya mga kotang, baka may sumamalob.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Magandang araw mga katribu! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelevelo, Atty. Lia Badillo Crisostomo, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Jerk Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas na ang mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Simulan natin ang bawat umaga with good vibes sa mga informative and recreational segments ng aming programa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion via Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Makichika na rin sa latest showbiz happenings mga katribo.
Kaya naman, magkita-kita po tayo mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga. At magsama-sama po tayo sa
Gising na!
Mahalin natin ang Pilipinas.
Lilipad na ang agila, magtatanggol, magmamahal sa ating bansa.
We shall fly, soar, fight, and win.
Maasa, hintay sa harap sa'yo.
We're back, and you're still watching Straight Talk with Secretary Andanar. So, Mr. Secretary, in the last 2 years, or in the middle of the term of the president, nagkaroon ng pandemic. Yet, he never lost his grasp in leading the country to where we are supposed to be, based on his plan and based on his promises. So, ngayon, naka-alert level 1 tayo. Can you say that we're on the right track?
Yes, we are on the right track. Definitely, the fact that we are one of the third lowest in COVID mortality at talagang napakababa ng utilization rate ng ating mga hospital beds. So, ibig sabihin, walang pasyente, maayos lahat. We have a COVID policy, unlike some of our neighbors in Southeast Asia. At ngayon, nakikita natin, mayroong surge doon, may surge sa kabila. Pero tayo, nandyan tayo, nag-open tayo ng ating ekonomiya. So this is a vindication to all of the tough policies that we followed during the last 2 years. Hindi siya nawalan ng grasp. Why? Kasi most of these people, if not all, are technocrats. If not from the military, but us from the private sector. At kung napapansin mo, bukod kay Mark Villar, na Villar na. So manalong senador talaga, sikat yung pamilya. Wala sa hanay namin na talagang masabi mong, presidentiable, senatoriable. Because, yun nga puro kami mga foot soldiers, trabaho lang kami ng trabaho. And that is my explanation why probably the president kept us. Kasi si presidente lang, ako na bahala sa camera, kayo magtrabaho lang kayo dyan. Yun ang ugali ni presidente ngayon at noon pa man kahit sa Davao City. Just do your job, do it properly, serve the people, and we will all be fine.
Okay, so let me go back to my question a while ago, bago tayo nag-break. So, meron siyang 30% endorsement, 33% I think. And then, he accomplished a lot of things, and he promised to work till the last minute of his tenure. So, lahat ng kandidato ngayon, parang umaasa naman na ma-endorse sila, di ba? Kahit yung mga bumabanat dati na akala yata lame duck siya, ngayon nanghihingi ng endorsement niya. Ano po ba talaga, Mr. Secretary? Will there be or won't there be any endorsement?
That is the paradox to the norm that we know, that a president becomes lame duck. There is the so-called kiss of death of a president. Now, you have, for example, Vice President Leni Robredo, who is open for an endorsement. You have Mayor Isko Moreno, who is seeking for an endorsement. You have the front liner.
The front runner.
The front runner, Bongbong Marcos, who is also seeking for an endorsement. And it only goes to show that we have a president who's not a lame duck, who's playing his cards well, and he did his job correctly. In fact, superbly, to gain the trust of the people. Nasabihin mo, 30% yung kanang endorsement power. Now, sino ba namang ayaw magpa-endorse? Kung dati-rati, ayaw magpa-endorse kay ganito kasi kiss of death, matatalo tayo niyan. Ayaw magpa-endorse dahil, Diyos ko, merong mamasapan ko, ano, lumayo tayo dyan.
Esek, lagi kanyang kasama lagi kanyang kausap. Diba? So, meron sana kami gustong malaman.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, di ba? Sino dun sa top 3 sa tingin mo will make it? One hint, 2 words, 3 words.
Gusto kong sagutin yan, pero siyempre may dagdag trabaho, spokesperson ako, di ba? Pag sinabi ko, baka sabihin na yun ay galing sa Malacanang. Ganito na lang, no? Ganito na lang. Ganito sasagutin ko. Ako'y naniniwala naman sa mga survey. Whether Pulse Asia o SWS, yung mga leading survey companies natin. Naniniwala ako sa kanilang paraan, sistema ng pag-survey nila. Quantitative, qualitative. At tingnan natin kung sinong talagang nasa pinaka 1, 2, 3 sa dulo ng larong ito. At again, miracles do happen, so say a prayer or two.
Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary, for joining us today on Straight Talk. But before we let you go, maybe a few words.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for the time, Jingbi, and Straight Talk to the Daily Tribune. Salamat sa pagkakataong ito. It's always good to be with fellow media men and women to talk about the issues of society. Salamat sa suporta ng ating mga kasamahan sa media, sa pag-intindi. Kung minsan ay hindi ako nakakasagot agad sa aking cellphone dahil maraming nagtatanong ng questions. But then again, what is important is that 3 things. Ang ating Pangulo ay nakatutok po sa problema ng ating COVID-19 pag-rebound ng ating ekonomiya. Number 2 is to ensure a clean, fair, and honest presidential or general elections. At pangatlo, yung malampasan natin ang problema natin sa pagtaas ng presyo ng langis, sa gulo na nangyayari sa Ukraine. Thank God na medyo bumaba na yung presyo ng langis, sana tuloy-tuloy na yan. At kami naman sa Presidential Communications Operations Office at sa Office of the Presidential Spokesperson ay tuloy-tuloy ang aming programa hanggang June 30, 12 noon, 2022, para ipahayag sa ating mga kababayan ang mga proyekto ni Presidente, lalong-lalo na yung tinatawag natin na Duterte Legacy, delivering information, the last mile of information delivery. Ito po yung Duterte Legacy, Sustainable Communication. At salamat po.
Thank you again, Mr. Secretary. And of course, thank you to our Katribus for tuning in today. Watch Straight Talk again next Tuesday. Thank you. I'm your host, Bettina Fernandez, and this has been the Straight Talk.